February 2010, in a small office in Bryan Park Shopping Centre, Bryanston, Johannesburg, Excel at Science was born. At that stage, we just had one pupil, Jackie Bulls, and since then, over the last 10 years, we've had the privilege of helping hundreds of learners, both in Johannesburg and Cape Town, with their maths and their science. Now, maths wasn't always part of our journey. It was in fact in 2015, shortly after Ernest joined us as our manager, that he and I were able to purchase Summit Maths, another tuition center just across the way. The owner was leaving overseas, and we thought how fantastic to be able to put the two together under the banner of Excel Maths and Science as it is today. Now, later that same year, we kind of just burst out and overflowed with a passion to be able to help people, realizing that the kids we were reaching are mostly from urban centers, but there's a massive need in the country. And so we started Excel Education. And through that overflow from Excel, we've been privileged to touch over 10,000 kids over the last 4 years around the country through videos, camps, teacher support, leadership development, and so on. So we reached this point today as a little mini milestone, 10 years. 10 years is pretty awesome. I was reading the other day that most small businesses, 9 out of 10 small businesses will close within the first 10 years. So here we are, by the grace of God, still rolling. And it's a good time to look back and say, well, where have we come from? And where are we going? So there's a central question which often gets asked that can help us at a time like this when we're reflecting about the why. Why do we do what we do and how do we do it? And that's the question, what does Excel stand for? We've had many people saying, extra large at science or extra large education, don't get it. And then after they've read it a couple of times, especially with this old logo with its grungy font, they would see, Excel at Science. It's not extra lessons, it's Excel. Okay, the word Excel, now I get it. So as a reflection upon that word, it actually comes from a Latin root. Here's a little Latin lesson for the day. It comes from the word excellere, which means to raise up or to elevate. Or excelsis is another word that is very similar. You might have heard the word excelsis in that glorious hymn, that Catholic hymn, Gloria in excelsis Deo, which basically just means glory to God in the highest. So it comes, the word is built up of two root words, ex, which means out or beyond, and celsus, which means high or lofty, like ceiling. And so you put those two together and you get Excel. So it's basically talking about going beyond. It's like lifting the lid off, blowing the roof off the place, just doing awesomely. So that's a large part of what we help to do. It's like breaking the limits of human capacity. Like think of Eliud Kipchoge, the Kenyan athlete last year who broke the 2-hour marathon limit. What a legend. Now, each of us have different limits. Each of us have different strengths. There is no way I am ever going to come close to a 2-hour marathon, let alone even finishing a marathon. That'll be step number 1. So we're each uniquely made. We each have different strengths and different limits. And our goal at Excel is every learner whom we get to work with, they're unique. And we don't want to expect them all to be distinction candidates, but we want to take them from where they're at to the best that they can be, to take them to their limits and then beyond, a little bit further, to be even better than they thought they could be. So whether they're struggling with the subject and just hoping for a pass, let's not just get them to a pass, let's get them to 40. And if they're just getting just an average pass, and we can take them to 50 and to 60 and into a bachelor's pass, and then those into a distinction, and those into 90% for those who are going to become doctors and engineers and astronauts and all that kind of thing. We want to take each individual to become the best that they can be, to go beyond. Now, along the way, we've laughed a couple of times around what else could Excel stand for, like extreme laughs. We love to have fun, we love to enjoy what we do. Extreme laughs, science. Extreme laughs, education. No, it doesn't work. Excellent leadership. We so value leadership. We like to do things well. We believe in a culture of excellence, not just in what we do, but in schools. It's so important to have that culture of excellence. Excessive learning. Practice. That is how you get good at maths and science. There is no shortcut, sorry. But there's one value that we hold very dearly. In fact, I've mentioned it many a time in our tutors trainings. And we say this is not just a close value, but it's our foundational value. And that is love. So perhaps we could think of Excel as being extravagant love. Because when a pupil walks through the door, or when we have an opportunity to work with a young person, yes, we want to help them with their maths and their science and their learning skills, etc. Yes, we want to inspire them to do well, to work hard, to be the best that they can be. But the best thing that we can do is to care for them. So in whatever you do, whether it's at the tuition center, whether it's in your place of work, it's at school, your day-to-day life, my challenge to you today is to think, how can I help someone else excel?